on to the next part of the program. And I'd like to introduce Lucy Hoyt to everybody tonight. By very good fortune, Anna and I ran into Lucy on a Friday night at the Valley Bar, which does happen from time to time. And we met Lucy and John, who have recently moved to the area. They haven't even moved into the valley yet. They're living in Greenville and building, and will be ready in a year or so. And we got talking about Burns Night and about whiskey and things I usually talk about in the bar. And it came out that Lucy is a professionally trained singer. And I'm not sure whether I arm twisted or she offered, and the truth will never be known. But it did come out that Lucy agreed to sing for us tonight some of the Burns songs that Peter so eloquently talked about. And because Lucy's new, I wanted to introduce her to you all. So Lucy, would you please come and stand? Yeah. So Lucy will not tell you this, but I will. Lucy was trained as a classical singer first at Westminster Choir College, and ultimately for her doctorate in voice performance at UNC Greensboro. She's performed professionally for over 40 years. She could sing for us, but she's not going tonight to do the Brahms Requiem or Haydn's Creation, but she could. And she's given many solo recitals, including performing at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, which makes her doubly qualified for tonight. Lucy is among the many of us who've suffered from a certain virus that's been going around recently. That was followed on by shingles, despite all the vaccinations in the world. So we are truly lucky that she can be with us today. This is the first time she's sung publicly since coming out of isolation. So we welcome to the club and thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you. I'm happy to do this. What he failed to say was, all those things were when I was, at the latest, 60, but now I'm 70. So I'm going to start with a song that all of you know, which I don't think needs any introduction. It's the Red, Red Rose. If I do it this way, I can scratch with this hand. Oh, my love is like a red, red rose that's newly sprung in June. Oh, my love is like the melody that sweetly played in tune. So fair art thou, my bonny lass, so deep in love am I, and I will love thee still, my dear, till all the seas gang dry, till all the seas gang dry, my dear, and the rocks melt with the sun. Oh, I will love thee still, my dear, while the winds of life shall run. So fare thee well, my only love, and fare thee well a while, and I to get this old voice back up again and warm up on the day of it, please let me sing a second song. And so I looked around for the right Robbie Burns poem and the right melody to go together. This melody is actually not a folk song, but written by an American in the 1800s, J.E. Spillman. And the poem, but you'll think it's a folk tune because it sounds so familiar. And the poem is Sweet Afton. Now Afton, as many of you may know, is a little river, and I believe it's central western Scotland. It's only 8 miles long. And I want to suggest that we think of it as Terry Creek. And poems, as you know, are not a single laser with one meaning, but they're more like a diamond that spreads many meanings. So I could sing this, and each of you would have a different interpretation, but I'm going to suggest this one. You're on the golf course on a Tuesday. You're walking the course with someone you love. I'm going to suggest for this that it's your granddaughter. If you don't have a granddaughter, just imagine. And she gets sleepy when you stop at the 15th hole, and she falls asleep. And you start talking to the creek. And you say, don't be so loud, you're going to wake her up. You even talk to the birds and say, be quiet. Flow gently, sweet Afton. This is how I get my starting pitch. Make sure I hit the right one. Yes. Flow gently, sweet Afton, among thy green grays. Flow gently, I'll sing thee a song in thy praise. My Mary's asleep by the murmuring stream. Flow gently, sweet Afton, disturb not her dream. Thou stark dove whose echo resounds through the glen, ye wild whistling blackbirds in yon thorny den, thou green-breasted lapwing, thy screaming forbear. I charge you, disturb not my slumbering fair. Flow gently, sweet Afton, among thy green braes. Flow gently, I'll sing thee a song in thy praise. My Mary's asleep by the murmuring stream. Flow gently,